Hi, I'm Georgiana at Holistic Life Hub. Now we've come to the month of February in the chapter Life Cycles, and this month it's all about the synthesis we all need and also wise vision upon life. So we need to rest when necessary. We need to evaluate often through a wise vision and also to project what it is good, to give what it is good, to offer generously what it is divine, what it is wonderful, because in this manner we will receive ourselves exactly what we offer. This is the very known law into the holistic tradition, which is called the occult law of resonance, which implies very simply that what you offer, it is what you will receive. So in the month of February we need to make a synthesis of things we have done. Now we come closer to the end of our spiritual journey if we take into consideration the astronomical year, because the astronomical year now comes to its end. It is considered from the point of view of the zodiacal signs. It starts with the first zodiacal sign, the ram, and it will end with the zodiacal sign of Pisces. So right now we are coming close to that. So in this month, the month of February, we need to start to reflect upon the experiences we had, where some of them for sure they were delicious, and other situations, other experiences were reactivations of old problems we didn't solve yet. So we need to realize that all the tests that we are subdued to will pass eventually, and also a new cycle of growth, of transformation will become soon a reality. Something which is very important, and I always remind my students about this. All the tests that we are confronted with, we are designed to pass them successfully. So the fact that some tests in our life, and I'm not speaking about tests in a university school or in any other school, but I'm here referring to the school of life. All the tests that we are confronted with, we are meant to pass them successfully. The fact that some of these tests we failed, it is simply 100% because we chose to fail. It is good to remember this. So now spring will soon come, and it will bring with it divine hopes, well-being, trust, but also opening towards a new beginning, and we need to make use of this energy of the beginning. There are many fairy tales, legends, also religious doctrines that speak about life and death, and that the cycle that implies rebirth. I don't know if you believe in reincarnation and rebirth, I'm sure you do. So these legends and different spiritual traditions, they suggest symbolically the existence of a process of transition from winter to spring. For example, you all must know the story of Snow White, and it tells us about this deep sleep, but also the kiss that brought her back to life. In the Egyptian tradition, the old Egyptians, they built pyramids that were touched on their top by Ra, the so-called god of sun, and this god was giving life to all new souls and also to the land by the Nile. Also, for example, in the Christian tradition, Jesus' resurrection and his ascension to heaven represent also the triumph of life upon death, but also of spiritual light upon darkness, of ignorance and disharmonies. In the Hindu traditions, there is a term which is called dharma. It is our fundamentally divine meaning in this life. And here we are in the middle of a period in life in which it is good to regenerate and to refresh our soul. So the month of February, it's very beneficial for exactly this process of regeneration and giving a restart, a refresh to our soul. During the entire year, we explored the intimate nature of our being, and we also became, I hope, conscious of the necessity to express clearly our aspirations, our divine hopes, and our dreams. And because we all have our life to live, and our life is unique, nobody else can do that instead of us, and also because we all influence each other, it is good to ponder upon what contribution we may have or what meaning we have to manifest in this life. You know, when you discover the meaning of your life, and I'm speaking about my own experience, things will flow much easier, and also a very profound state of satisfaction, of exactly this, having a meaning with your life. It is taking away many worries, many doubts, many questions about what I will do, because now you know what you are supposed to do, and it's extremely profoundly fulfilling. I don't know if you saw a movie called It's a Wonderful Life. The main character in the movie becomes very sad, and he starts wishing he never existed. And through a miracle, he receives this possibility to see how the world would have been if he never existed. It's quite an interesting analysis to make, or a scenario to ponder upon. So he realizes in this movie, the main character of the movie Life It's Wonderful, the profound importance but also significance of his individual life. Maybe some of you sometime also thought that it have been better if I didn't exist, but we need to realize that even if we don't believe that our life matters too much, we don't believe that we are very important, or I don't know what else we might think upon this topic, actually we are unique. We have a unique role to play in this existence. Nobody else can do that. And actually we have a much greater impact upon others than we actually right now realize. So starting from our position of this unique path we have in our life, we can each of us have an intuition of what we need to do so that we can help others in a very inspired, divinely way, with the help of God, so that others can also achieve beneficial transformations in their life. We are speaking about transformation and self-development in the Holistic Life Hub from different angles. So this will be always somehow the linking threads, no matter what we are speaking about. In the Hindu tradition, the divine tasks, together with our fundamental meaning in this life, they are called Dharma. And this fundamental concept contains the idea of divinely integrated action, which is necessary to be realized both towards the ones we love, but also towards any other living creatures, all the other human beings. And the word Dharma probably is known to many of you because it's correlated with what it is necessary for us to do. And also these actions need to be integrated into the universal law of harmony. The Sanskrit word Dharma means to carry, to hold, and it designates in reality the fundamental line of behavior and also orientation that we follow in our life in accordance with the divine will, and this is an important aspect in this physical existence. So this integration of our being into the fundamental law of harmony, Dharma, and also the integration in the divine necessity, it is called the law of Dharma. So Dharma is what has been decided, or what is firmly affirmed. It also means firmness, status, order, and even law. So shortly, it means what we have to do in this world to fulfill our meaning, to fulfill, let's say, our divine duty. And also, it is seen from the divine perspective. So shortly, it is our purpose in this world, during this existence. From an individual point of view, Dharma consists in striving for revealing in our inner universe, with the help of God's grace, what is our fundamental role in this existence, or in other words, what is our fundamental meaning in this life. Very important to discover. So the fundamental concept of Dharma presents different particular meanings and aspects. They are connected to, for example, doing virtuous actions which are positive, beneficial, divine, that are bringing about joy, happiness and harmony. Imagine living a life in which we are focused and aware that we have a divine purpose in this life, and no matter in which manner we express that, we can be, for example, a musician or a teacher or employee in some company, but no matter what we do, because we are aware of our meaning in life, we do always and behave always in such a way that we bring about joy and happiness and harmony. For sure the life becomes much better and much more harmonious when we live our life like that. Coming back to the concept of Dharma, it also means the fundament of morality, ethics, and it represents all these aspects that allows us to awaken to a state of natural intelligence. It also represents the unwritten codes of the most adequate modalities of behavior in life, and also an appropriate adaptation of these, reported, somehow connected in accordance to our fundamental goal in this life. When we realize which is our Dharma, or which is our meaning in life, having purpose to your life brings much more clarity, determination, self-confidence, trust that things have a meaning, that everything we do in accordance with our fundamental purpose of life, it's actually perfect the way it is. So Dharma also implies a constant and consequent report or connection, awareness upon a certain fundamental system of universally valid values that is based on spiritual experiencing. So we can have a long discussion about values, moral values, but I will not bring it up here. I will just mention this. Nowadays, if we look upon things from let's say, less optimistic perspective, maybe from an objective perspective, we can notice that some people, when about moral values, their system of moral values is actually upside down. What it is most important to them is to have a lot of money, fame, I don't know, bigger car, bigger house, and very little these moral values have to do with to be a good human being, to be a generous human being, to have a divinely integrated, to be a divinely integrated person who is always doing the good. So Dharma implies focus upon universally valid values which are based on spiritual experiencing. And this system remains unchanged throughout eras because it is universally valid, as I said. And also it implies that we do the most fitted actions in accordance with God's will. Here again we can have a long discussion, but not right now, how it is easiest to do always God's will. And we will speak about this in a special training video when we will do something which is called consecration. From the individual point of view of individual practice, Dharma refers to doing the actions during our lifespan, being in the best state of spiritual integration. So we are always in accordance with divine harmony. We do not things which infringe other people's free will. We do not actions that are hurting other people or ourselves. So we are doing our best to always be in a state of spiritual integration. And this is obtained by doing daily in front of or before all important actions this consecration of the fruits of our action to God. So simply we can sit down, we close our eyes, and for 3-5 minutes we will say that now we offer, we consecrate all the results of that respective action we are about to start to God. And then for the rest of the minutes we will simply be in a state of mental void. We will do our best to feel the answer to this consecration. And the answer will not be a voice in our head, will simply be a state which is uplifting, elevating us. If the answer is yes, it means now what we are about to do, it is sure, it is integrated in the spiritual harmony. If our state becomes heavier, if we have a nasty feeling, if something it's like a tension, something it's not feeling right, it means the answer is no. It means what we are about to do, it is not divinely integrated in the universal harmony, so it's better not to do it. So now we will do a very simple holistic technique. We will intuit and then we will explore from a broad and wise perspective our meaning in this life, or Dharma. So we prepare, we sit comfortably in silence in a yoga posture for meditation. We make sure that we keep our back straight. And then we begin to think of the state in which the plants, animals, other human beings that we know would be today if we would never existed. And starting from these images, we begin to realize which is the effect that our presence, our actions have upon this world so far. And also we decide how we would like to express in the future our purpose in life, our meaning in this existence, and who would benefit from simply our presence in this world, from us existing here and now. And we can develop then some beneficial ideas about the effects that our life and our presence has upon the loved ones, what effects our existence simply have upon other people. And when we are ready with this technique, we can discuss these ideas with these people who are close to us, who are dear to us, And also we can start a discussion and asking them what they think about their unique meaning in this world. And you will see that the discussions become very, very interesting. The next chapter in the month of February, it is about the profound, durable joy of happy and loving interactions with other people, both with exceptional human beings, but also with angelic entities of divine light. The people that we love, our friends, our colleagues, they all contribute to the joy we feel in this world. And also they help us very efficiently sometimes to surpass difficult situations, because we also do the same for them. I can tell you that many times, just by speaking with my best friends about some problems, difficult situations and periods in my life, it was enough somehow for me to unburden, to get rid of that heavy stone I was feeling on my heart. Because also by hearing myself presenting the situation or the problem, and also somehow seeing it from the perspective of the other one, helped me a lot to realize that the situation actually was not that catastrophic, but also I could receive somehow inspirations and ideas from my best friends, so I could solve that problem, or I could surpass the difficult situations much easier. So the more we progress, the more we discern who are those we can always count on in difficult moments, and who are those who really share our state of success, enchantment in favorable moments. That will help also a lot. We can also imagine, actually we can become convinced of, that in the world of spirits there are not only guardian angels, there are also spiritual guides. And in the other world, in the subtle world, there are also our grandparents who passed away, or people who were very close to us, who are not any longer with us in this world. And these people with whom we had a love relationship of any kind, they still are watching over us. They live in the subtle world, and they can offer us a supplementary energy which will help us make good choices, especially when life is facing us with problematic situations or with critical aspects in our life. So we can ask questions to them, but then we need also to listen carefully to their wise and also divinely inspired answers. Those answers will actually help a lot in solving the problem or surpassing the critical situation. And we can feel that we are in contact and also in full accordance with the wisdom of these beings. And in this manner we can discover actually our own superior knowledge upon everything which is good for us. So anyhow, to search for the best solutions, it is a superior beneficial habit which is very worth acquiring it. So no matter what life is throwing in our way, it is better to take a step back, relax a bit, center in our spiritual heart, and then ask for help and guidance, so that we can always find the wisest, the best, superior solution to that problem. And by thinking about the roles that all these wonderful beings from the spiritual dimension play in our life, we can imagine what we will do if we would be, let's say, terrestrial angel present in this world to help other people. So we will connect to our own self-consciousness to decide which is the best way to offer happiness and healing to other people, but also to the entire world. So now, in connection with this topic, we will do a very simple holistic technique. We will strive to bring as much joy, elevated pleasure and happiness in the life of those people who are open to receive these gifts. We start by opening our spiritual journal, and we will make a list with all those people whom we love, we value, and also that means something special to us. When we are finished with the list, we will reread it, and we write down by each of these people in our list which actions we consider we have the power, we have the ability to do in order to enrich their life, in order to simply make them happy, bring more joy to that person whom we love. And after we completed the entire list, so we write down by each person what we can do in order to make that person happier and to bring a little bit of joy in that person's life. We read it once more, and this is just because we need to check if maybe we have another good idea what we can do for some of the persons in our list. And then we decide to put into practice what we have written. We start by formulating a very clear, firm intention to do so. And by being spiritually integrated, we decide that now we will do those good actions for every single person that we wrote down in our list. We will also need to pay attention to favorable situations that for sure will appear after we took our decision, and we will use them. We will apply practically everything good we decided to do for these loved ones. Another aspect that we will cover right now in the chapter about the month of February is attaining a state of perfect divine accord. In the Chinese tradition, the subtle water element is in connection to winter, which is the season associated with the horizontal direction and digit 1. In this simple holistic technique that we will do right after this, we will simply dive into this mysterious energy of winter in order to come out of it in a state of peace and also perfect divine accord with the surrounding world, after nourishing ourselves in an optimal way with the natural energies and the subtle elements which are specific for this season. So now follows a very simple holistic technique, the complete harmonizing of our being through awakening a state of perfect godly accord. So we lie down on the floor, or we can lie down in the bed. It is important that we keep our body warm. We relax the muscles in the body. If we notice tensions in our body, we relax them as well. And then we start visualizing, imagining, seeing mentally ourselves passing through a stream of intense blue color. We can imagine, for example, that we lie on a ship navigating through a vast ocean. And while lying there, we feel intensely how every cell in our body is systematically regenerated by this subtle blue color. And also we feel very clearly how any pain and suffering is removed because of that subtle color. We explore every inch of our body systematically, from the tip of the toes up to the head. So we can begin by the tip of the toes to both legs, And then we move upwards, the foot, the ankles, the calves, knees, thighs. And then we do the same process with the arms. We start from the fingers, the hands, underarm, elbow, upper arm. And then we do the same process with our body, the rest of our body, the pelvic area, the thorax, the neck, the nape, and the entire head, and also the facial muscles. So when we do this, we will observe the process of regeneration that occurs. So you imagine how this blue intense light, it is regenerating while you scanned your body, as I just explained, is regenerating your body, every cell in your body, and it's removing any pain, any suffering that you might feel in your system. At the end of this meditation, we imagine that we anchor the ship. We get off on a very beautiful beach, and nearby the beach we spot some very delicate flowers popping up from the grass, and the grass is a very light green color. So now we sit down in the grass, we become aware of this field of light green color which we sit into, and we will do 3 deep breathings, and we feel how we breathe in this gigantic energy of the ocean's water. We come back then slowly to our regular state of consciousness. We become aware of the present moment, and we open our eyes slightly.